to share trend number 2, diversity, inclusion, and equality.
Okay, let's hear it again. Second place. I'm Kizzy Dominguez, formerly Kizzy Parks with KPC. So not too long ago, I was in just a typical video conference call with a prospect. And this particular prospect has this multi-level marketing business structure, right? You pay in and you're to make, a lot of money. But unlike, those on American Greed where you have a pyramid scheme going on and you pay in, you don't really get anything out, this prospect was actually legit. And they tailored and focused on women. Their market was women selling to women other beautiful items such as this handbag there and many, many other items targeting women. But what was very interesting was in the conference call, there was a lawyer in the room, and she leaned in and said, Kizzy, we want to increase our sales of purses by 2% for Latin customers and for African Americans. How can you help us with that? And it was really clear, like many other organizations, D&I was all about the bottom line. They wanted more sales. And again, this is not unusual. However, there's another reason others get involved in D&I, and it has to do with the EEOC has seen over 554,000 different complaints about the protected categories. And often we kind of have our heads in the sand about this. I mean, thankfully we have social media because what impacts us concerns us. And if none of this has really impacted you, you wouldn't really be aware of it. So thankfully we have the social media that's out there that has shown us things that have happened with Prada and Gucci and nooses at GM and those on video who were captured just going out of control and ranting and eventually losing their jobs as a result of those activities. But yet at the same time, we have this recent research that has shown that when looking at men and women and their career projection, that really it was about bias is what had an impact on them. It was bias holding them back. And I personally look at that as like a silver lining because we can train bias. We can take away the bias. We can implement programs and other initiatives to help remove that when it comes to selection and promotion and in other areas within organizations. It's like Diversity Inc., who for way over 10 years has recognized top 50 organizations for D&I. So they're great companies doing amazing things out there, all under the umbrella of diversity and inclusion. And even recently, some leaders at Intuit realized that they had this preference, believe it or not, for those with an Ivy League degree. And this all came out during a retreat. And they realized, hey, our top leaders don't even have an Ivy League degree. What are we doing? And it shows you the power of workshops. And this typically is one of the big areas in D&I, and that is to implement workshops to help change bias and help continue to move the needle. Because at the end of the day, 34% of complaints to the EEOC is around race. However, 32% of the complaints are around those with disabilities. And so what I'm going to do here in a second is read some comments for you from this Twitter feed. And it was people with disabilities explain weird encounters with ABLEs. So for instance, once I was at the grocery store with my service dog, buying frozen broccoli, and a woman came up to me and asked if I needed help finding my adult, because clearly disabled people cannot select vegetables on our own. She also called me brave. At the time I was working with a recruiter when I was still doing accessible web design and explained it all to her, but she was like, but you're not disabled. While making strange hand motions, I don't even know what her thought process was because I am in fact disabled. And so to really have an impact on this dialogue on D&I and to expand to all of the other areas to make sure we're all included, it begins with each and every single one of us. It begins with you. It's having that impact at your job, having the impact in the community. And ultimately, and I want to leave you with one thing, and that is you being an advocate, having a voice, And that's how we're going to get change. Again, my name is Kizzy Dominguez, and I'm with KPC. Thank you all.